Hi everybody, Nick. I'm on the menopause. Probably tell it's not a great menopause few days. You know, it's really crap at the minute actually. I'm feeling really physically knackered and I'm so angry and irritable and quite frankly pissed off with the world. And I know this is definitely a menopausal thing, but actually I don't want to just label it and say because it's a menopausal thing it doesn't matter, because it does matter, because there's always something behind it, isn't there? And it's this not recognising, not allowing the root causes to come through, not allowing us to voice our frustrations that I think does a lot of damage. So, you know, it's the holidays and, you know, it's just a whole different lot of challenges as an older mum going through the menopause. So by the natural order of things now, I'm going into a crone phase, right? Which means I ache for silence and space to myself and a more genteel approach to life. And I had kids later in life, so I can't have that because my kids aren't grown up. And so I have, you know, all of these demands that I still have to meet. And it's not in sync. It's not in sync with where my body is naturally, which is that of being a crone. Which I don't know if anybody, this resonates with people, but God, the need for time to yourself and just silence is incredible. Even the sound of the radio now gets on my nerves. And then, you know, you kind of think, wow, you know, that was a choice you made and all the rest of it. And there's this narrative. There's always a justification, isn't there? There's always a reason. And then I dig a little bit further behind that. And do you know what I think to myself? I didn't have children till later because the society I lived in meant that's the only choice I had if I wanted to have a career. If I'd have had children earlier in my 20s, which would have fitted in more with my natural cycle as a woman, my career would have been screwed. And let's face it, I had kids and my career was screwed anyway. And I've never resolved how you balance having kids, being a mum, and also having time to have a career and meet your own needs. I've never found that balance. You know, if other women have, absolutely hats off to you. And I do feel that, you know, as certainly the society we live in here, the choices I were faced with was that if I wanted to have the career, which I desperately wanted and I worked so hard for, then having kids at a younger age would have screwed me. There's no way in the world it would have happened. And, sorry, just checking what the dog's up to. And, you know, this whole narrative goes on, and that's where our menopause has got out of sync. You know, our evolution, our environment has got out of sync. But I guess I'm doing a rant because honestly, it needs to come out. It does make me feel better. But I think for the women out there, I think, you know, I've talked about this before. I am still, and I know, look, it's got to come out and it's got to be dealt with. But I am still, raging at the injustice and the unfairness of some of the compromises and sacrifices we have to make in order to be able to have children. And obviously, yes, on balance, we do that because we love our children and I have always put them first. But that doesn't mean that a sacrifice hasn't been made. And that doesn't mean that as I'm going through this menopause, that doesn't create grief in me for, you know, unreached potential and so forth. And it doesn't create anger in me that, you know, I still can't seem to find and may never find what that balance is. And, you know, real irritability and anxiety, and again anger, that I desperately need some space and time and quietness in my life, and I can't have it. I can't have it because I had children later in life, which means my crone phase has car crashed head first into having a lot of people that still depend on me, which means it doesn't matter how shit you feel, you know, you have to still get up and face that day and do your thing. And one of the things that set me off today is, you know, it's the holidays, and if I let the kids, they depend on me as their kind of motivator, and I'm just really frustrated because, you know, I'm like, you know, we've all got to be more self-managing, and I think that part of menopause is helping and managing the people around us, not just ourselves, to say, I don't have this energy to share with you all. I can't make the decision for everybody. I can't constantly be the person you go to say, you know, what's next on the list. The person that's constantly the one that goes, right, you know, let's go for a run, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. You know, I'm just out of energy. I'm just out of fucking energy. And I think we need to help people around us understand this. And when I get home, there's going to be quite a tough conversation with my kids about the fact they need to be more self-managing and more proactive, because I just don't have the energy to do it all. I suspect there's a lot of mums out there that might listen to this and hear what I'm saying and be nodding their heads, not necessarily having the answer, but we have not cracked this at all. And we've got this collision between what we actually need and actually, let's face it, we've always had this collision, haven't we? We had this collision when I had to make the decision to have kids, and then, you know, had to make the decision to walk away from a career in order to be able to be the mum that I wanted to be. And now I've got a collision when my menopause is kicking in, or has kicked in, and I need a little bit more of a gentler pace and to take my foot off the brake a bit. And I don't know how the fuck I'm going to make that happen. In the same way that I've got a collision between the fact that, you know, I'm having a menopause, had kids, didn't have a lobotomy, therefore still got a brain that works. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to engage it, because, you know, people can come up with what initiatives they like. The fact of the matter is, women with kids, you know, find it incredibly difficult to hold down any kind of decent career unless they are really prepared to make some real sacrifice on the home front. So, you know, and you know what they say sometimes you have to have this crash, sometimes you have to have this real divergent, this you know, maybe this anger and this rage, you know, for things to kind of really crack open in your head in order for this kind of third whale, this other option to be seen that, you know, you hadn't thought of before, in order for this, you know, euphoria moment. And maybe that's what some of this transformational shift's about. It's just that I'm just questioning this status quo, and I'm saying, no, it's not right, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't meet our needs, and there has to be a better way. Fuck knows what that is right now, but you know what? I am not going to stop looking. I am never going to stop looking for a better way to live our lives than we are doing right now. There we go. I've got it all out. Rant over. I hope that really helps somebody else too, because it's helped me enormously. Thanks for listening. Lots of love. Bye.